Hey everybody, it's Chrissy, it's Wootini from GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. This week was PAX East, and normally this would be my annual podcast from my hotel room in Boston, where I talked about all the cool games that I tried, and all the cool stuff that I saw, and instead I am sitting here on my couch, like always. Because for various reasons, I was not able to make PAX East work this year. I applied for and got a media badge, but sadly couldn't make it work this year, so I just declined to go. And in the end, I'm actually kind of glad that I was not there, because I would have felt really awkward attending PAX East on a media badge when I actually can't write a single article about any of the games that I would have played. So I would have felt really crappy just attending for free when I'm not giving anything back. That's not cool. But then also walking around with a media badge, if I try to sample a game, like, they're going to be like, hey, here's our card, let us, talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I can't actually write about anything right now. Because as you may have noticed, or may not, I don't know, GayGamer.net has been defunct for a little while now. I think it's been a few months. There's been problems and glitches. It was very buggy. And basically what's happened is it seems as though it's not going to get fixed. So it would appear that GayGamer.net is going to the great internet archive in the sky, and that is the end. Hasn't officially happened yet, but I mean, I basically feel like that's it. Because the people who could have helped fix it don't seem to want to fix it, and the people who do want to fix it don't have the ability to fix it, so I guess maybe it's time to call it quits. I don't know. It's really upsetting to me on a very personal level, because I actually looked it up, and it was almost 10 years ago. It was November of 2006 when I submitted the first of two freelance articles to Gay Gamer. One where I went to the Nintendo store to try the Wii, and then another one where I chronicled my experience standing in line outside of Toys R Us for the midnight launch, and then coming home with a Wii and setting it up and playing it. I was not an official writer, but I had found the site, like a lot of other people at the time, because of the Gay Characters in Gaming article that got picked up by a bunch of different outlets. So I probably saw it on like Joystick or Kotaku or something, and I found my way to Gay Gamer, where I discovered there's a video game site full of video game news, and it's written for and by gay people. I mean, it's not for gay people. I mean, straight people can read Gay Gamer. It's not a big deal. We don't mind. But the idea of video game site that is from gay people, so it's a little more my speed than something like Kotaku. For instance, I will jump ahead. One of my favorite examples is there was a Capcom released a press release where they were announcing a bunch of new alternate costumes for a Resident Evil game. All the other sites led with the schoolgirl outfit for, I think it was Rebecca. It was like a schoolgirl or cheerleader outfit. It was something slutty, obviously. And I remember I wrote an article for Gay Gamer about that press release that Capcom sent out. I saw that and I said, oh, this is great, because I led with Barry Burton in his Leather Daddy costume, because, hello, I know my audience. So I just appreciate that there was a site that was kind of geared towards that perspective. And it wasn't all just tits and ass like some of the others. So I also found there was a forum, and in the forum I immediately set up an account and started talking with people in the forums and getting to know people, and I made so many friends there because there were meetup forums and people would organize meetups in all different cities all over the country, and there were a bunch of New York City meetups, and like we went to like the Chinatown arcade and stuff, and we'd go for dinner and stuff, and it was just amazing. I'm meeting these other gay, gamer, nerd, geek people, and it was just so incredible to me that these people were out there, and here I am now, I'm meeting them, and I am still friends with so many of them to this day. And I will be forever grateful to Gay Gamer for introducing me to my friends, basically. And I remember there was a call for writers, and I submitted some samples, thinking, what the heck? I love this site, I want to, contribute if I can. And Flynn DeMarco, who was the owner and running the site, he was the editor, and he got back to me finally and was like, hey, sorry for the delay, everybody, but, we'd love to have you write for the site. Unfortunately, he wanted me to write 2 articles every day, and I'm like, dude, I have a day job. When I get home from the office, like, that's not cool. So he was like, well, maybe you could just write for the weekends. A couple articles on Saturday and a couple articles on Sunday. And I said, okay, that might be more doable. We'll see. And then he sent out the schedule, and yes, there was a schedule back in the day. Because back in the day, there was like a half a dozen writers, and everybody posted 2 articles a day. You had like a dozen articles every day. There was a lot of content back in the glory days of Gay Gamer. You may not remember that, unless you're an old-school Gay Gamer reader. But I found myself assigned to 2 evening slots every weekday, and I'm like, ugh. And, but I really wanted to be a part of Gay Gamer, so I just started writing articles, and, it was a little difficult in the beginning because I didn't get a lot of press releases, but then, I started getting on mailing lists, and I started to, know people, and I got more articles to write and stuff, so it got a little easier. And then I'll always remember when I got the email from Flynn saying, hey, would you like to go to E3? On our dime, we'll pay for your flight and your hotel. Just go to E3 and, like, demo a bunch of games and go to some press conferences and write a bunch of articles, and it'll be awesome. And I was like, oh my god, of course. Why would I turn that down? Only a crazy person would do that. So, I got to go to E3 a few times. The first one was, like, complete insanity because there were like 4 of us and I didn't know what I was doing and I was completely overwhelmed, and it was like just appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. I was like, the second year was much better because there were 6 of us that year, and so my appointments weren't quite so one after the other, and I had time to breathe, and I had time to look around and see some other things that maybe I didn't have an appointment to see, and I also had time to sit down and write an article or 2 in between appointments. But then the third one, there was only 2 of us, so it was insane again. And then that was the end, because that was the glory days of the site, when there were a lot of writers, and there were a lot of content, so there was, money coming in from the ads and whatever. I don't really understand how websites work, but I understand you have ads, you get hits, the money comes in, whatever. And then something happened where, like, the contract for the ads ran out, and now the site wasn't making as much money as it used to, so basically it was just making enough money to pay for its server costs, I guess. And so there were no more free trips to E3. So which is why I ended up just going to PAX East all the time, because I can go to PAX East, and then I can split the hotel with somebody, and the bus costs way less than a flight to LA. So, like, PAX East was more, I could afford that. I can't really afford to fly myself out to LA and put myself up in a hotel. That's a bit much. And then I also realized that I can go to Comic-Con here in New York because it's a quick subway ride away, and they have video games there too. So I was like, why have I not been applying for a media badge to Comic-Con? Stupid me. But those were good days. And now, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be going to Comic-Con this fall because there won't be a site to work for to get a media badge. At the time I applied for my PAX East media badge, I was able to link to some Gay Gamer articles, and now I can't. You know, when the fall comes and I go to apply for the end of the summer, I go to apply for a Comic-Con pass, I won't be able to link them to any new content because there is no new content. It's sad. Because I remember also there was a time when, because it's a volunteer job. The writers don't get paid. You do it for the love of the site and the industry and the games, and eventually you do start to get invited to things like a release party or E3, or you'll get a review copy of a game. So you get some free stuff every now and then. That's what you're doing it for, because you're not getting, it's not a real job that you're getting paid to do every day. So that was a problem because the writers would then get a real job either in the industry or whatever, and they'd be like, well, I can't do this anymore, and they would just drop out. And I don't know why. There's something about GayGamer.net, I just felt very protective of it, and I loved doing it, even though I would get practically nothing out of it except the occasional free game and maybe a trip to, you know, a free pass to go to PAX East or Comic-Con. And I would just keep going. And even after all the other writers dropped out, there was a period of time, I swear it was like a year or more, where I was literally the only writer writing for Gay Gamer. Those were very lean years. And like every so often, like once or twice a month, one of the other writers would pop up with something that they'd been working on. But I was still posting once or twice a day, just as much as I could, just to keep content going up on the site, just so the site wouldn't die, because I didn't want it to die. And I just kept posting, and it was just me. And I remember even Hurricane Sandy almost killed Gay Gamer as well, because the servers were apparently located in Lower Manhattan, and it got flooded and destroyed in Hurricane Sandy. And there was a time there where I was terrified that that they weren't going to make the effort to move Gay Gamer to new servers and keep it going. But they did, and I was very relieved. And then we had like an influx of new writers, and we had the site redesign, and everything was cool, and it was like, yay, we're back. But I feel like it never quite took off, and now it's fallen apart again, and it's all glitchy, and nobody wants to fix it. So, and there's nothing I can do about it at this time. Because the last time I was afraid it was going to die, I could still keep posting stories. The site was working, and I could still post stories and keep it alive. But now I can't post stories because the site is not working. It is non-functional. So it's really upsetting to me I mean, it's been a huge part of my life for like almost a decade, which boggles my mind that it's been that long. But I will always treasure my trips to E3 and all the friends that I've made through this site. And I guess I'll keep doing this. I've been just uploading it to YouTube now for a while. I guess I'll have to change the name at some point. There is talk from the writers of creating something new, because we don't own the GayGamer.net name, so we can't call it Gay Gamer, but we'll maybe create something new in the same vein. But it won't be Gay Gamer, and you know, that's just, it's really sad to think that it's gone and there's nothing that I can do. Because if there was something I could do, I would totally do it. But it's kind of out of my hands, so yeah, I guess that's it for this week. There's my little eulogy for GayGamer.net, and I'll see you back here next week. I'll still call it the GayGamer.net podcast, just, you know, because I started doing it because people wanted the Gay Gamer audio podcast back, but I didn't know how to do an audio podcast like I don't have proper microphones, I don't know how to edit audio and stuff, but I know how to do video. So that's how this was born. And I did get a lot more views back in the day before the site redesign. After the site redesign, the views on these videos dropped to not a whole lot. So I may not, you know, it may stop being weekly, because I don't know if you guys even care. I know there's some people who do watch this every week for whatever reason. You guys keep tuning in. But I will stay in touch and keep you up to date on the future of Gay Gamer and where we're all going to end up afterwards. Hopefully we can pull something together, because I would love to keep doing this. Alright, that's it. I'll see you next week, and I did start a new game, which I will talk about next week, but this has gone on too long, and that was my topic, so we'll talk games next time. Share your memories of Gay Gamer in the comments, because I would really, really, really love to hear them if you have any. Thanks. See you next time. Bye.